To connect Asana to Zapier, you'll authorize Zapier to securely access your Asana workspace directly from the Zap editor, which then lets you use Asana as a trigger or an action in automations. Once connected, you can automatically create a task from a Google Sheet row or send a Slack alert when a project moves to complete. If you want more no-nonsense automation walkthroughs, hit subscribe and let's get into the steps. Open your browser and go to zapier.com. At the top right, click the Login button. Sign in with the email and password for the Zapier account where you plan to build your automations. Connections are tied to that specific account, so if you have a separate work and personal login, make sure you're in the right one. After signing in, give the dashboard a moment to load. You'll see either your existing Zaps listed or a welcome screen with a clear Create Zap button. That's how you know you're in the right place. Look to the upper left corner of the dashboard and click the Create button. It's the orange one. From the drop-down, select Zaps. The Zap editor opens up with an empty trigger step front and center. That blank step is where it all begins. Every Zap needs something to kick it off. Asana can be that trigger, or it can be the action that happens after something else fires first. The connection process is identical either way, so we'll treat Asana as the trigger for this walkthrough. Inside the trigger step, click on the App Picker field that says Choose an App or Search Apps, and type Asana. The list filters as you type. Select Asana from the results. Make sure it's the official Asana app, which shows the company logo. Right afterward, a new drop-down will appear showing the available trigger events, things like New Task, Task Completed, or New Project. For now, you don't need to pick one. We're just getting the account connected. I usually leave it on New Task so the sample data later is relevant, but the setting won't lock you in until you test. Now for the actual handshake. Click the button that says Sign in to Asana or Connect a new account. It sits right beneath the app selector. A pop-up window will open, taking you to Asana's own login page. Sign in with your Asana credentials. This is where I see the most mistakes. Double check that you're signing in with the exact email that has access to the workspace and projects you want to automate. If you have a client-specific workspace or a sandbox account, one wrong login and later tests will fail with confusing permission errors. After you sign in, Asana will show you the permissions Zapier is requesting. Read your tasks, projects, and workspace. I recommend checking the option that says Allow access to all current and future workspaces, if it's available, because it prevents you from having to reauthorize when you create a new project later. Click Allow. The pop-up closes, and back in the Zapier editor you'll see a green connected indicator next to your Asana account name. That confirms the authorization is live. Click the Continue button under the account field. Zapier now wants to verify the connection can actually fetch data. Hit the Test button. Zapier will reach out to Asana and attempt to pull a recent task or project as a sample. If everything is correct, you'll get a green checkmark and a data preview showing fields like task name, assignee, and due date. If the test fails, red box, error message, it's almost always a permissions hiccup. Either the Asana account you connected doesn't have access to any projects that contain tasks, or the workspace you're trying to hit is different from the one you thought. I keep a small dummy project with a couple of test tasks inside the target workspace just to guarantee the test has something to pull. After the test passes, the trigger setup asks you to narrow down where the automation should listen. Use the drop-down to pick the correct workspace first. If you belong to multiple organizations, they'll all be listed here, so choose carefully. Then select the project. Start typing the project name in the search field if you have a long list. This is exactly the moment where descriptive project names save you. If your projects are all named Sprint Backlog without team or client labels, you're about to guess wrong and create a Zap that monitors the wrong board. Select the project you want, and if the trigger type offers extra filters like a specific section or assignee, leave them on the default for now. Click Continue to move to the action step. Remember, you can always come back and tighten these settings later. At this point, you can add your action, maybe a Google Sheets row, a Slack message, an email, whatever you need. Once you've configured the action, use the Test and Review button at the bottom to run the entire Zap with the sample data. Watch the log panel. You want to see a green success for every step. If an action fails, the error message will tell you exactly which field is misconfigured. Only when you see all greens do you click Publish. That takes your Zap live. A pro move I rely on is to keep an eye on the Zap History tab during the first hour. It shows every trigger and action that ran, which helps you catch flaky authentication or rate limit issues before they bite. You've now connected Asana to Zapier, and you can start automating the busy work that eats up your project management day. A great next step is a Zap that creates an Asana task straight from a form submission. It's a confidence builder. Save this video if you ever need to reauthorize or add a new workspace. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next one.